You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls! You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls!
Lone Star Kawasaki and Ag Equipment is your South Texas headquarters for all your hunting, farming, ranching, and lawn care needs. In addition to our line of Kawasaki Mule side-by-sides and Kawasaki ATVs, we carry Massey Ferguson tractors, Bush Hog implements, Hustler turf mowers, Armstrong Ag Equipment, Big Tex, and CM trailers. Our dealership is located in Hondo, Texas, near San Antonio. Call Lone Star Kawasaki and Ag Equipment at 830-426-3701. Proud supporters of D'Hanis Athletics.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media or at medinaec.org.
Hello folks, do you need a structure built out of steel? Then look no further than Mark Rodriguez with QMAC Metal Buildings, a D'Hanis native who comes from a small town and knows that a handshake means something. QMAC Metal Buildings has put up thousands of buildings, making America great one building at a time. We don't just specialize in putting up steel buildings. We do any steel structure you may need. Cattle guards, mobile shelters, stairs, banks, schools, all the above. If you have an existing building that needs to be torn down, we do that as well. We can tear them down, put them up, repair leaks, anything you need. So get on cue with QMAC Metal Buildings. But most importantly, go Cowgirls!
The Hondo National Bank. During these crazy times we are going through, it is comforting to know that at the Hondo National Bank, you have options to help make your life easier. Options like mobile deposit, online banking, and online bill pay. And all these things can be done using the Hondo National Bank app on your mobile device. At the Hondo National Bank, we strive to bring you the latest technology to make your life easier. The Hondo National Bank, your friend, your neighbor, your banker. Member FDIC. The Hondo National Bank, located downtown Hondo, Texas. Ventura Excursions. The goal at Ventura Excursions is to provide the most memorable, once-in-a-lifetime experiences over and over again. Ventura Excursions has a collection of unique and beautiful properties offering 5-star accommodations and top-shelf hospitality. Whether you're looking for a genuine hunting experience, an epic offshore fishing trip, bay fishing at its finest, or a place to host an event of any size, Ventura would be glad to accommodate you. Give them a call and they will handle the rest. 210-865-1423. 90s Taco Store, now open, family-owned Mexican restaurant and drive-thru. 90s Taco Store in D'Hanis, Texas has daily breakfast taco specials and daily lunch specials. If you're thirsty, they have plenty of cold beverages and margaritas. Feel free to call your order in at 830-988-4515. And we'd like to welcome a new sponsor on board, Dale's Air, Cowboy Pest Control. Are you having problems with bugs in your house? Have you started seeing fire ants pop up in your yard? Call Dale at Cowboy Pest Control, and he will take care of those or any other insect-related issues you may be facing. With over 16 years' experience in the pest control industry, Dale has seen and treated almost every problem you may be facing. From ants, roaches, spiders, and scorpions to bees, fleas, and even termites, Dale has a fix for it. If you find yourself needing a wood-destroying insect report for the sale of a property, he can do that also. Call Dale at 830-931-5542 for honest, dependable service at a fair price. Best of luck to the Cowgirls and Cowboys from Cowboy Pest Control. And we'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors: Lone Star Kawasaki Ag Equipment, Medina Electric Co-op, Hondo National Bank, Venetary Excursions, 90s Taco Store, Humac Erectors, and new on board, Dale's Air and Cowboy Pest Control. Good evening, everyone, and welcome here to the Royal Cal Gymnasium for tonight's district matchup between the Hennis Cowgirls and the visiting Utopia Lady Buffs. Cowgirls are coming in with a 9-2 record, 2-0 in district play. Almost got hit by a volleyball. In earlier action last night, we had junior high volleyball teams. B team won over Lakey 25-16, 25-15. Junior high A team won over Lakey. After falling in the first set 20-25, they won 25-19 and 15-3. And earlier action right now, we just completed the Hennis JV won over Utopia JV 25-15 and 25-7. And the Hennis Cowgirls will be back in action Friday night versus Crystal City, beginning at 4 p.m. with JV games. And once again, we'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors, because without them, none of this would be possible. Lone Star Kawasaki Ag Equipment, Medina Electric Co-op, Hondo National Bank, Venetary Excursions, 90s Taco Store, Humac Erectors, and new on board, thank you to Mr. Del Zer and Cowboy Pest Control. Lone Star Kawasaki Ag Equipment is your South Texas headquarters for all your hunting, farming, ranching, and lawn care needs. In addition to our line of Kawasaki Mule side-by-sides and Kawasaki ATVs, we carry Massey Ferguson tractors, Bush Hog implements, Hustler turf mowers, Armstrong Ag Equipment, Big Tex, and CM trailers. Our dealership is located in Hondo, Texas, near San Antonio. Call Lone Star Kawasaki Ag Equipment at 830-426-3701. Proud supporters of the Hennis Athletics. And it looks like they're going to get started pretty quickly here, as the Dennis JV just completed their match as they won in 2 sets, 25-15, 25-7. The Hennis Cowgirls breaking out their new gray jerseys. Utopia wearing their white. And we're ready to get started here. like to welcome everyone watching from wherever you're watching from in the surrounding area. Once again, we have Utopia Lady Buffs versus your D'Hanis Cowgirls. D'Hanis, under the leadership of head coach Courtney Rodriguez, assistant coach Gina Wools. The roster for your Cowgirls: number 2, sophomore Mabry Herman; number 4, senior Natalie McFadden; number 5, sophomore Kayla Ruiz; number 6, senior Katie Self; number 7, sophomore Jolie Frosch; number 8, freshman Peyton Burrow; number 10, junior Addie Harkins; number 12, senior Victoria Carter; number 14, junior Tony Burrow; and number 15, freshman Maddie Rodriguez. And Utopia set, getting ready to serve. Number 9, I apologize, I don't have a roster for the Lady Buffs. And the ball's up, it's over. Ruiz with the dig, Frosch with the setup to Mabry Herman with a nice hard hit, blocked, and into the stands. And the Cowgirls off to a 1-0 lead. And it looks like Mabry Herman will be serving for the Cowgirls. Nice hard serve over, bumped up by number 1. 7 with the setup to number 15, deflected by Carter, and it lands in for Utopia, and we're all tied up at 1. Looks like number 7 will be serving for Utopia. Nice hard serve to McFadden. Kaler saves it and sent over by Maddie Rodriguez as a free ball, but it's out of bounds. Ball's up and over. Great effort by Kaler. Lands in the stands, and Utopia off to a quick 3-1 lead. Ball's up and over. Kaler. Frosch with the setup to Victoria Carter with a nice hard hit and finds a spot in between 2 Buffs, Lady Buffs, and the Cowgirls are down by 1. You have Brentley Portnier checking in for Kayla Ruiz. Brentley Portnier, a junior, number 11. And Jolie Frost serving for D'Hanis. Tipped over by number 15, Frost with the bump to Rodriguez, who tips it into the net. And Cowgirls starting off a little slow here. Utopia with a 4-2 lead. Number 15 serving for the Lady Buffs. Ball's up and over. McFadden. Frosch with the setup to Victoria Carter. And once again, she finds the open spot. 4-3 Utopia. Natalie McFadden checks out and Katie Self checks in. Maddie Rodriguez will be serving for D'Hanis. Number 4 tries to send the ball over, but stays on their side, and we're all tied up at 4. Rodriguez serving for the Cowgirls. Nice jump serve. Bumped up, and number 5 sends it over. Peyton Burrow. Frosch with the setup to Katie Self, and it's out. Number 4 serving for Utopia. Ball's up and over. Harkins, Frosch, Self. And it's out of bounds once again. Utopia with a 2-point lead. Serve over to Harkins. And into the stands. And Utopia with a 3-point lead here. In the front for the Cowgirls, you have Brentley Portnier, Jolie Frosch, Katie Self. In the back row, you have Victoria Carter, Addie Harkins, and Peyton Burrow. Harkins, Burrow, Frosch sends a free ball over. Nice hard hit by number 5 into the net. And it's going to be a point for the Cowgirls. Peyton Bro checks out. Mabry Herman checks in. And Victoria Carter serving for DeHennis. Nice hard serve to number 9. 15 sends it back over. Harkins with the bump. Frost with the setup to Mabry. And in between two Utopia players, it's a point for DeHennis. Carter with a nice hard serve, dug up by number 4, and off the top of the net, and we're all tied up at 7. Once again, DeHennis JV won in 2 sets, 25-15, 25-7. And now we're here watching varsity action. It's Carter's nice hard serve off the libero. 15 tries to send the free ball over, and it's out of bounds. Cowgirls take the lead by 1. Carter still serving. Nice hard serve by Victoria. It's an ace. 9-7 lead for the Cowgirls. Carter with the serve. Off the libero. Number 9 sets it up for number 1. And it's into the net. Gives the Cowgirls a 3-point lead. DeHennis up 10-7 here early in the first set. And Carter still serving. Ball's up and out of bounds. A little bit too much power for Victoria. And number 5 will be serving for Utopia. Ball's up and over. Nice hard serve to Harkins. Jolie Frost with the setup to Mabry Herman. And it's out of bounds. And not sure what the call was there. They're saying that it was off the fingertips of someone. It's a point for DeHennis, so they're going to reverse. 10-8 lead. 11-8, sorry. Kayla Ruiz checks in for Brentley Portnier. Ball's up and over. Carter. Mabry bumps it. Frost sends it over. Harkins. Jolie bumps it up for Katie Self, who sends it deflected by number 15 and out of bounds. And it's a point for DeHennis. Tony Burrow checking in and will be serving for the Cowgirls. Nice hard serve. Number 5 hits it out of bounds. And the Cowgirls are up by 4, 13-9 here in the first set. And Utopia is going to call a timeout. And we're going to take a timeout with them. Cowboys Pest Control. Are you having problems with bugs in your house? Have you started seeing fire ants pop up in your yard? Call Dale at Cowboy Pest Control and he will take care of those or any other insect-related issues you may be facing. With over 16 years experience in the pest control industry, Dale has seen and treated almost every problem you may be facing. From ants, roaches, spiders, and scorpions to bees, fleas, and even termites, Dale has a fix for it. If you find yourself needing a wood-destroying insect report for the sale of a property, he can do that also. Call Dale at 830-931-5542 for honest, dependable service at a fair price. Best of luck to the Cowgirls and Cowboys from Cowboys Pest Control.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media.
And we're back here live. Nice hard hit by number 5 into the net. And Dennis has a 5-point lead. Tony Burrows serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. And, oh, great save by Maddie who sends it over. 15, blocked at the net by Maddie, and they tried to play it off, but she couldn't quite get it over. Point for Utopia. And Natalie McFadden checks in for Tony Burrow. Ball's up, dug up by McFadden. Nice hard hit by Maddie Rodriguez. 15-10, Dennis with the lead here in the first set. Herman with a nice hard serve. Frost with the setup to Maddie who sends it over. And it's going to be a point for Utopia. Blocked at the net by Carter. Push to the corner. Burrow with the save. Frost sends it back to Burrow. Sends it over. Frost. Bumped up by Kaler for Maddie. Kaler. Great effort, but hit into this to the top of the roof. And Utopia cuts the lead down to 3. 15-12 to Dennis. And it's a point for the Cowgirls. Jolie Frost set the serve for the Cowgirls. And it's going to land in for an ace. Jolie Frost serving, ball's up and over. Dug up by number 9. Number 5 with a nice hard hit. And it's in for Utopia. First set, Cowgirls lead 17-13. In the front row for the Cowgirls, you have Victoria Carter, Jolie Frost, Maddie Rodriguez. In the back row, Natalie McFadden, Brentley Portier, and Peyton Burrow. Great save by Rodriguez, sends a free ball over. Number 5, again with a nice hard hit, but this time it's out of bounds. Cowgirls with a 3-point lead. And Katie Self checks in for McFadden. Maddie Rodriguez with a nice hard serve over. Number 7 with the dig. 5 sets it up. Number 1 sends it over to Self. Frost with the setup to Carter, and she finds the open spot. Nice hard hit. And it's an 19-13 lead. I'm saying corrected. Rodriguez with a nice jump serve. And she hits the referee. But it's a point for Dennis. Rodriguez still serving for the Cowgirls. Jump serve, number 1. Set up, Back to number 1. The nice hard hit deflected by Portnier, and it's out of bounds, and Utopia earns a point. Addie Harkins checks back in, the libero for the Cowgirls. Number 3 serving for Utopia. Ball's up and over. Harkins. Frosch with the setup to Victoria Carter with a nice hard hit, and hit into the stands. It's going to be a point for Dehennis. You're going to have Peyton Burrow check out and Mabry Herman check in. And Victoria Carter will be serving for Dehennis. Katie Self will check out and Tony Burrow will check in. Carter with the jump serve. Off the top of the net. Rolled off. Brentley saved it. Tipped over by Frosch. And Cowgirls earning themselves another point. Still here in the first set. Carter with the jump serve. Off the fingertips of number 1. Pushed over. Carter with the great save. Mabry punches it. Bradley Portnier tries to send the free ball over, but doesn't quite make it. And Utopia is now down by 7. Number 5 serving for the Lady Buffs. Ball's up and over and hit pretty hard, out of bounds. Cowgirls with an 8-point lead. And Kayla Ruiz checks in for Brentley Portnier. Kayla serving. Ball's up and over. Nice hard hit by Mabry Herman, waiting at the net. She's playing at the net again, and she sends it over. Harkins. Frosch with the setup to Tony, who uses her left hand to send it over. Number 15 with a nice hard hit off Harkins and into the stands. And it's going to be a point for Utopia. In the front row for the Cowgirls, you have Jolie Frosch, Mabry Herman, Tony Burrow. In the back row, Kayla Ruiz, Victoria Carter, and Addie Harkins. And number 1 serving for Utopia. Ball's up, over. Victoria Carter, bumped up by Herman. Back to Carter. Mabry plays it out the net, tips it over. Harkins, Frosch sends it over. Kaler, Mabry blocked by 15. And number 15 sends it back, and it's out of bounds. Cowgirls are 1 point away from winning this first set. And you have Tony Burrow serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's up, over, and off number 1 and out of bounds. The Cowgirls are going to win the first set, 25-16. And we'll be right back after these messages. The Hondo National Bank. During these crazy times we are going through, it is comforting to know that at the Hondo National Bank, you have options to help make your life easier. Options like mobile deposit, online banking, and online bill pay. And all these things can be done using the Hondo National Bank app on your mobile device. At the Hondo National Bank, we strive to bring you the latest technology to make your life easier. The Hondo National Bank, your friend, your neighbor, your banker. Member FDIC. The Hondo National Bank, located downtown Hondo, Texas.
Hello folks, do you need a structure built out of steel? Then look no further than Mark Rodriguez with QMAC Metal Buildings. A Dehennis native who comes from a small town and knows that a handshake means something. QMAC Metal Buildings has put up thousands of buildings, making America great one building at a time. We don't just specialize in putting up steel buildings. We do any steel structure you may need. Cattle guards, mobile shelters, stairs, banks, schools, all the above. If you have an existing building that needs to be torn down, we do that as well. We can tear them down, put them up, repair leaks, anything you need. So get on cue with QMAC Metal Buildings. But most importantly, go Cowgirls!
The goal at Venetary Excursions is to provide the most memorable, once-in-a-lifetime experiences over and over again. Venetary Excursions has a collection of unique and beautiful properties offering 5-star accommodations and top-shelf hospitality. Whether you're looking for a genuine hunting experience, an epic offshore fishing trip, bay fishing at its finest, or a place to host an event of any size, Venetary would be glad to accommodate you. Give them a call and they will handle the rest. 210-865-1423. 90s Taco Store, now open, family-owned Mexican restaurant and drive-thru in D'Hanis, Texas, has daily breakfast taco specials and daily lunch specials. If you're thirsty, they have plenty of cold beverages and margaritas. Feel free to call your order in at 830-988-4515. And once again, we'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors. Cowgirls won the first set 25-16. Getting ready here to start the second set with Katie Self set to serve for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. Tap by number 15. And the ball lands right in front of Kaylor. And Utopia is going to take a 1-0 lead here in the second set. Natalie McFadden checks in for Katie Self. And number 9 will be serving for Utopia. Ball's over. McFadden. Frost at the setup to Mabry Herman. And it's a point for D'Hanis. And Mabry Herman back to serve for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. And it lands in. It's an ace for Mabry Herman. Herman serving. Ball's up, over. And number 15 smashes it towards me. Tries nearly hit me. And we're all tied up at 2. Peyton Burrow checks in for Mabry Herman. In the front for the Cowgirls, you have Victoria Carter, Maddie Rodriguez, Jolie Frosch. In the back row, Kayla Ruiz, Natalie McFadden, Peyton Burrow. McFadden. Frost with the setup to Maddie Rodriguez. Carter. Frost back to Carter. And it's off Utopia and in for the Cowgirls. 3-2 D'Hanis with the lead here in the second set. Once again, Cowgirls won the first set 25-16. And Jolie Frost serving for the Cowgirls. Bentley Portnier checks in for Kayla Ruiz. And D'Hanis earns another point. 4-2 D'Hanis. Frosch with the serve to number 9. Little miscommunication there leads to another Cowgirl point. 5-2 D'Hanis. In earlier action, the D'Hanis JV team won over Utopia 25-15, 25-7. And here in the first set, Cowgirls won over the Lady Buffs 25-16. And D'Hanis currently with a 5-2 lead while Frosch serves the ball, dug up by number 9. Rodriguez with the bump. Frosch with the setup to Carter. Blocked the net. And it's a point for Utopia. Number 15 serving for Utopia. Ball's up and over. Dug up by Portnier. Frosch with the setup to Victoria Carter. And in between two Lady Buffs, a point for D'Hanis. Katie Self checks in. Natalie McFadden checks out. And Maddie Rodriguez will be serving for the Cowgirls. Nice high jump serve. Carter. Portnier sends it back over. Free ball sent over by Utopia. Peyton. Frost with the setup to Portnier, who sends it to the corner. Missed could be little. Almost had a crash there. And it's out of bounds. Number 3 serving for Utopia. And they're going to say Cowgirls must have moved prior. And it's going to be a point for Utopia. 6-5 lead for D'Hanis. Coach Courtney Rodriguez speaking with the ref, trying to get clarification of what happened. They're saying the libero moved a little bit early. They're still trying to figure out the rotation. And number 3 serving for Utopia. Ball's up and over and out of bounds. Cowgirls with a 2-point lead. And Victoria Carter will be serving for the Cowgirls. Mabry Herman checks in. Peyton Burrow checks out. And the referee's going to call timeout. Not sure what's going on there. But while he calls timeout, I'd like to thank our sponsors once again, 90 Taco Store. Now open, family-owned Mexican restaurant and drive-thru. 90's Taco Store in D'Hanis, Texas, has daily breakfast taco specials and daily lunch specials. If you're thirsty, they have plenty of cold beverages and margaritas. Feel free to call your order in at 830-988-4515. Referee still trying to figure out what's going on. Well, they're chit-chatting. Hondo National Bank. During these crazy times we're going through, it is comforting to know that at the Hondo National Bank, you have options to help make your life easier. Options like mobile deposit, online banking, and online bill pay. And all these things can be done using the Hondo National Bank app on your mobile device. At the Hondo National Bank, we strive to bring you the latest technology to make your life easier. The Hondo National Bank, your friend, your neighbor, your banker. Member FDIC. Cowgirls here lead in the second set 7-5. They won the first set 25-16. Referee still trying to figure out the rotation. I guess we're good to go. And Victoria Carter serving for the Cowgirls. Nice hard serve. And off number 15 and out of bounds. And it's an 8-5 lead for the Cowgirls. Carter with the nice jump serve. And out of bounds. Carter still serving for the Cowgirls. 9-5 lead D'Hanis. Carter the jump serve. Nice hard serve off the net. Utopia tries to save it and send it over off the referee. And it's a point for D'Hanis. 10-5 Cowgirls lead. Carter with the jump serve. Off number 3 and into the stands. And the Cowgirls with a 6-point lead now. Carter with the serve. Off number 3 once again and out of bounds. 12-5 lead for D'Hanis. And Looks like Utopia's going to call timeout. Or they changed their mind. They're not going to call timeout. They're just going to substitute some players. Carter's still serving. Ball's up and over. Off the libero and out of bounds. 13-5 to Hennis. Now Utopia's going to call a timeout. And we're going to take a timeout with them. Venator Excursions. The goal at Venator Excursions is to provide the most memorable, once-in-a-lifetime experiences over and over again. Venator Excursions has a collection of unique and beautiful properties offering 5-star accommodations and top-shelf hospitality. Whether you're looking for a genuine hunting experience, an epic offshore fishing trip, bay fishing at its finest, or a place to host an event of any size, Venator will be glad to accommodate you. Give them a call and they will handle the rest. 210-865-1423.
Hello, folks. Do you need a structure built out of steel? Then look no further than Mark Rodriguez with QMAC Metal Buildings, a D'Hanis native who comes from a small town and knows that a handshake means something. QMAC Metal Buildings has put up thousands of buildings, making America great one building at a time. We don't just specialize in putting up steel buildings. We do any steel structure you may need. Cattle guards, mobile shelters, stairs, banks, schools, all the above. If you have an existing building that needs to be torn down, we do that as well. We can tear them down, put them up, repair leaks, anything you need. So get on cue with QMAC Metal Buildings. But most importantly, go Cowgirls!
Carter with a nice hard serve, earns the Cowgirls a point. Carter serves it again here. Tipped over by Frosch. Carter. Jolie Frosch with the setup to Portnier. Over to number 7. Number 9 sends it back over. Portnier. Frosch tries to find a corner. Portnier. Herman. I'm going to say it's a point for the Cowgirls. Cowgirls with the 10-point lead here in the second set. Once again, the Cowgirls win the first set 25-16. And Carter serving for the Cowgirls. Nice hard serve off number 5 and into the stands. 16-5 to Hennis. Carter with the serve. Libero bumped up by number 9 and sent over and out of bounds. 17-5 to Hennis with the 12-point lead here in the second set. Victoria Carter still serving. Nice hard serve off the libero and out of bounds. 18-5 to Hennis. Carter with the nice hard serve. And a collision between the libero and number 4 leads to another Cowgirl point. 19-5 to Hennis with the lead. Tony Burrow will check in for Mabry Herman. In the front row for the Cowgirls, you have Katie Self, Brentley Portnier, Tony Burrow, Jolie Frosch in the back row, Addie Harkins, and serving Victoria Carter. And it's out of bounds. Number 5 is serving for Utopia. Falls up and over. Carter. Frosch bumps it up from the back row for Carter for a nice hard hit. And it's a point for the Cowgirls. Kayla Ruiz will check in for Brentley Portnier. And Kayla will come in and serve for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. Number 5 with a nice hard hit. And it's out of bounds. 21-6 to Hennis leads. Here in the second set, Cowgirls won the first set 25-16. Ruiz serving. Ball's up and over. And into the net. And it's a point for Utopia. Cowgirls with the 14-point lead here. Second set. And number 1 will be serving for the Lady Buffs. Falls up and over. Kaler with the dig. Frosch with the setup. Carter from the back row pushes it to the back. Kaler and Harkins nearly collided. And Tony Burrow, he smashes it. Kaler, Frosch, Self tips it over. Utopia tried to play it off the net. And it's a point for DeHennis. 22-7 Cowgirls lead. Maddie Rodriguez checks in for Addie Harkins. And Katie Self serving for the Cowgirls. Self with the serve. Maddie Rodriguez played at the net. And it's a point for Utopia. I think they're going to say she hit it twice on the return. Natalie McFadden checks in for Katie Self. Number 9 serving for Utopia. Off the top of the net. Carter with a great effort to save it. And Tony smashes it over. Natalie. Frosch with the setup to Rodriguez. And it's in. 23-8 DeHennis with the lead. And Tony Burrow will be serving for the Cowgirls. Frosch with the setup to Carter. And it's out of bounds. 23-9 DeHennis with the lead. Here in the second set. Peyton to Frosch to Rodriguez. And it's a point for Utopia as it lands in. And it's a 23-10 lead for the Cowgirls. Cowgirls are needed 2 points away from winning the second set. And Utopia with a nice hard serve. Frosch with the setup to Rodriguez. Kaler bumps it up to Frosch, sends it over. Peyton, Jolie, Carter pushes it to the corner. Great save by Maddie Rodriguez. Victoria Carter tried to play it off the net, but they're going to say she was a little bit too much into the net, and it's a point for Utopia. Ball's up and over. Off Peyton, and the Cowgirls having a difficult time trying to get these last 2 points here to win the second set. Cowgirls are up 23-12. Number 7 serving for Utopia. Ball's up and into the net. And the Cowgirls are 1 point away from winning the second set. Once again, the Cowgirls won the first set 25-16. And Bentley Portnier checks in for Kayla Ruiz. And Jolie Frosch serving for the Cowgirls. Frosch with the serve. And DeHennis is going to win the second set here. 25-12. They won the first set 25-16, 25-12. And we'll be right back after these messages.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media or at medinaec.org.
Cowboys Pest Control. Are you having problems with the bugs in your house? Have you started seeing fire ants pop up in your yard? Call Dale at Cowboy Pest Control and he will take care of those or any other insect-related issues you may be facing. With over 16 years experience in the pest control industry, Dale has seen and treated almost every problem you may be facing. From ants, roaches, spiders, and scorpions to bees, fleas, and even termites, Dale has a fix for it. If you find yourself needing a wood-destroying insect report for the sale of a property, he can do that also. Call Dale at 830-931-5542 for honest, dependable service at a fair price. Best of luck to the Cowgirls and Cowboys from Cowboy Pest Control. Lone Star Kawasaki and Ag Equipment is your South Texas headquarters for all your hunting, farming, ranching, and lawn care needs. In addition to our line of Kawasaki Mule side-by-sides and Kawasaki ATVs, we carry Massey Ferguson tractors, Bush Hog implements, Hustler turf mowers, Armstrong Ag Equipment, Big Tex, and CM trailers. Our dealership is located in Hondo, Texas, near San Antonio. Call Lone Star Kawasaki and Ag Equipment at 830-426-3701. Proud supporters of Dehenes Athletics. And we're back here at Roy College Gymnasium to get started for the third set. As your Cowgirls won the first two sets 25-16, 25-12. In earlier action today, Dehenes JV went over Utopia JV 25-15, 25-7. And the Cowgirls volleyball teams, they'll all be back in action Friday as they'll host Crystal City. JV will begin at 4 o'clock. And the referees are ready to go. And number 9 will be serving for Utopia. Ball's up and over to Kaler. Frosch bumps it up, and Victoria Carter pushes it to the corner. Carter Rodriguez at the net. Rodriguez at the net playing with number 15. Kaler, Frosch with the setup to Rodriguez, tipped over. And it's a point for Dehenes. Mabry Herman serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. 7 bumps it up. 15 sends it over. And it finds a spot, and it's a point for Utopia. We're all tied up here at 1 here in the third set. Number 7 serving for the Lady Buffs. Ball's up and over. And Mabry hits it off the wall. Point for Utopia. Ball's up and over to McFadden. Maddie Rodriguez sets it up for Victoria Carter, and it's in for the Dehenes Cowgirls. Brantley Portney will check in for Kayla Ruiz. Jolie Frosch will serve for the Cowgirls. In the front for Dehenes, you have Victoria Carter, Maddie Rodriguez, Brantley Portney. In the back row, you have Mabry Herman, Natalie McFadden, and Jolie Frosch. And Dehenes earns another point. And Jolie will be serving still. Ball's up and over. Number 5 pushes it and doesn't make it quite over. Point for Dehenes. Frosch with the serve. 9 digs it up. Number 5 tries to power it over, but it's hit into the net. And the Cowgirls with a 5-2 lead here. Frosch to serve. Off number 1. 5 sets it up for number 15. And lands right in front of McFadden. And it's a point for Utopia. Number 15 serving for the Lady Buffs. Nice hard serve. Brantley. Frosch bumps it up. Carter sends it over and it lands in. And Dehenes up by 3. Natalie McFadden checks out and Katie Self checks in. And Maddie Rodriguez serving for the Cowgirls. Nice hard serve, but into the net. Lady Buffs are down by 2. Addie Harkins checks in for Maddie Rodriguez. And number 3 serving for Utopia. Ball's up, over. Carter. And a little miscommunication between the Cowgirls leads to a Utopia point. Here early in the third set, Cowgirls up by 1. Number 3 serving for Utopia. Harkins. Frosch with the setup to Katie Self. Ball's over. 9 sets it up for number 5, who taps it over. Frosch. Herman. Carter sends it over. Number 1 hits it into the net, and the Cowgirls are up by 2. Victoria Carter serving for the Cowgirls once again. Nice jump serve, but hit too hard and out of bounds. Carter will check out, and Peyton Burrow will check in. Nice serve to Brentley. Peyton bumps it. Herman sends it over. And it's a point for DeHennis. Taylor Luis will be serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. Number 1 sends it over. Frosch. Burrow bumps it up to Katie Self. Sends it over and lands in between a couple of Lady Buffs. And DeHennis will have a 3-point lead. Taylor with the serve. Mabry is standing at the net. Taps it over. And it's a 4-point lead for the Cowgirls. Oh, they're going to say she was on the net. They're going to remove that point and give it to Utopia. It's going to be a 9-7 lead for DeHennis. Number 1 serving for Utopia. Ball's up and over. Off the net to Mabry. Bumped up by Self, and Mabry hits it right back out. And the line judge a little confused, called out in. And they're going to say it's out. Ball's up, over. Peyton. Jolie sets it up for Katie. Rolls off the top of the net and lands in for DeHennis. Addie Harkins checks out. Maddie Rodriguez checks back in. And Katie Self serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. And number 15 comes over and smashes it hard. And it lands in for Utopia. Katie Self checks out. Natalie McFadden checks in. In the back row for the Cowgirls, you have McFadden, Ruiz, Burrow. The front row, you have Jolie, Frosch, Mabry Herman, and Maddie Rodriguez. Number 9 serving for Utopia. Ball is over. Frosch sets it up for Maddie. Number 15. A nice hard hit and hit my top camera, as you can see. And we're all tied up at 10. Ball's up and over. Kayla. Frosch with the setup to Maddie. Deflected. Number 5 hits it from the back row. Great dig by McFadden. Number 15 taps it over. Bumped by Herman. Frosch sends it back over, and it lands in for the Cowgirls. Herman serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. And into the stands. Cowgirls with a 2-point lead. And Mabry will continue to serve for DeHennis. Ball's up and over. Frosch played at the net and taps it in between 4 Lady Buffs for a Cowgirl point. Herman with the serve. Kayla with a great save. Jolie bumps it up to Tony. And it's a point for the Cowgirls. Herman with the serve. Dug up by the libero. Number 3 bumps it up for number 15. Blocked at the net by Maddie Rodriguez. And D'Hanis has a 5-point lead here in the third set. Cowgirls won the first 2 sets, 25-16, 25-12. Lead 15-10 here in the third set. And Herman hits it right into the net. And the Cowgirls are up by 4. Number 7 serving for Utopia. Ball's up, over. McFadden. Jolie sets it up for Maddie. McFadden. Frosch. Ruiz bumps it up for Tony, who sends it over. Free ball. Kaler. Frosch with the setup to Maddie. Blocked at the net by number 15. Tony and Kaler, great effort. Couldn't quite get it back over. And it's a point for Utopia. Ball got lost, so they're changing balls. Number 7 serving for the Lady Buffs. Ball's up and over. McFadden. Jolie sets it up for Tony. And lands in for D'Hanis. Jolie Frost will be serving. Brentley Portnier will check in for Kayla Ruiz. Ball's up, over. And a point for the Cowgirls. Gives them a 5-point lead here in the third set. Frost with a nice hard serve. Number 15 deflected off Portnier. Portnier sets it up for Maddie Rodriguez and off the libero, and it's a point for the Cowgirls. Jolie Frost remains serving for D'Hanis. Cowgirls with a 6-point lead here in the third set. Frost with the serve and another point for the Cowgirls. Frost with the serve. Number 5. 15 sets it up back to number 5. Off Maddie, and it's a point for Utopia. Once again, the Cowgirls won the first 2 sets, 25-16, 25-12. Have a 6-point lead here in the third set. And earlier action, the D'Hanis JV won over Utopia JV in 2 sets, 25-15, 25-7. Mabry. Frost with the setup to Tony. Blocked at the net by number 1. And she touched it twice, so it's a point for D'Hanis. Cowgirls with a 7-point lead. Addie Harkins checks in. She'll be serving for the Cowgirls. Katie Self checks in for Natalie McFadden. Ball's up and over. Set up and hit hard into the net by number 15. Leads to another Cowgirl point. Harkins serving. Ball's up and over. Dug up by number 7. Number 1 sends it over. Maybe with a great save. Portnier sends it over. Blocked at the net. Portnier sets it up for Self. And in between a couple of Lady Buffs, it's a point for the Cowgirls. Ball's up, over, short. Set up for number 1. And out of bounds. Cowgirls have a 10-point lead here in the third set. Cowgirls are 2 points away from winning this ball game. Harkins with the serve. And they're saying the Cowgirls once again. Something with the rotation. They might be getting a little head start there. In the front for the Cowgirls, you have Tony Burrow, Brentley Portnier, Katie Self. In the back row, Jolie Frosch, Mabry Herman, and Addie Harkins as the libero. Once again, the Cowgirls won the first two sets, 25-16, 25-12. The Hennis is 2 points away from winning this ball game, as number 3 from Utopia will be serving. Ball's up, over, self. Frost with the setup to Portnier. Off, number 3, and out of bounds. And that'll bring up Tony Burrows set to serve for the Hennis. Waiting to call from the ref. She gets it. Ball's up and over. And Katie Self plays it at the net. And it's a point for the Cowgirls. The Hennis is going to win this game 25-16, 25-12, 25-14. And once again, they'll be back in action Friday versus Crystal City. And we'll be here live. And once again, we'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors. Lone Star Kawasaki Ag Equipment, Medina Electric Co-op, Hondo National Bank, Venator Excursions, 90s Taco Store, QMAC Erectors, and new on board welcome Del Zera and Cowboy Pest Control Service. Until Friday evening, we'll see you. Good night and God bless.